Hello everyone, and welcome to Jumperman Tech, where we specialize in HVAC. We do everything DIY, and today we have a service call for an LG multi-V system. Thank you to everyone tuning in to Jumperman Tech. Today we have a service call for an LG multi-V system. The problem here is access. We cannot get to the back over here to take the screws off and actually drop the panel to perform the proper preventive maintenance. As you can see, the access panel has been taken off, and that's this one here. You can see it is a square. We're actually going to be installing a new panel. I'm going to mark the layout right now for the building maintenance crew, where we're going to cut the ceiling a bit more here to get access completely underneath the unit and across the unit. This is going to be the frame for our panel. The other one, as you can see, has like these little screws. Oops, it's on the bed. Over here, got these little flat heads you could take down, and it opens up as a door. What's cool about this one, this is actually the other side, so it's a piece of sheetrock. You actually push it, and when you push it, this whole area, it just comes off, so nothing's hanging, and we have all this access, which is pretty big. I just measured this, and it's 24 by 36, so 2 feet by 3 feet, which is definitely gonna be a big difference. As you can see, we only have this small portion of the unit. How are you gonna work out the rest of that unit? You just can't do it. Can't clean that coil, because to do so you got to take off this panel right here. How are you going to get to the screws? Not only that, look, this maybe fit your hand in there at most. So there's screws back there that we just can't get to, which is just a shame. When it comes to these units, we have one condensing unit on the roof, and then we typically have 7 to 8 air handlers all connected as one. This is a heat pump, heat recovery system. So you have heating and cooling all year round. We have a lot of problems in this building. Compressors are constantly going bad. There's a lot going on, and that's gonna be down to maintenance. And you'll notice why later. Right now, the problem is fitting this and getting underneath the unit, leaving some access for the control panel, and also some access to change the filter here. This molding's in our way. I'm thinking maybe somewhere around here, even though this molding's gonna have to get cut. Maybe they can do that nicely. And then maybe come around this way, cut this way, and close to that wall, so we get as much access as we can underneath, so we can drop this bottom panel, because that's the only way you're gonna be able to really perform work. You gotta take off the condensate pan so you can get underneath the coil, and you're gonna want to drop that when you're changing thermistors and pumps. So it's a lot going on. As you can see, nobody's doing maintenance here. Last maintenance record is November 19th, 2013, and guys, it is April 2024. Let's remove this filter so you guys can see the horror story back here. I never seen it before, never been in this room, but I noticed that every single unit is in bad shape to where you have almost no airflow. Look at all that dust accumulation there. You guys can see, I'll take a picture of the blades. Surprisingly, this one isn't as bad as others, but it is bad. This is the best we're gonna get it without touching that molding. Cut this out. All right. So basically it's gonna go like this and up to this little area. And we're gonna have the system open. So for the most part, now we got access to this whole unit. Before, we weren't able to get to these screws in the corner here. Also, we need to drop this panel to get to the condensate pan and all that. So we're gonna begin with this mess. I just turned the unit on. I just want to make sure before we clean this that these units even work. That's a double shaft blower, and then here we have one single shaft, but they are in fact spinning. Got my thermometer on the supply. System is on heating, 103.6.8 and rising, 104.2. Alright, this unit does operate, but it needs a cleaning. There was no proper access at all in this building until I came here. I've been telling them we need access and everything for a long time. Every time we had to do a cleaning or do some sort of repair that we needed more space, we cut the ceiling down and they put the same sheetrock right back. Finally they listened and they ordered 50 access panels after one of them fit, and it worked well. So that's a beautiful thing for us. For them, they ordered 50 panels, but I believe there's like 135 air handlers that don't have access. It's gonna be a tremendous project, but listen, they didn't do maintenance in what, 11 years? And they never had proper access from the beginning. It's just a flawed system. It is what it is, but hopefully they do the right thing from here. And finally, they listen to me. Turned off the thermostat, on and off. Let's turn the unit off. We're gonna start by taking off this bottom panel. Will we get in there? Nope, you're gonna need an angle bit. Let's take this off. Take off this plate here. And move along. To get to this screw, this stud is in my way. You see, I actually can't even get that in there. It's so tight. I have an idea though. I'm actually just gonna have to cut a portion of this off and maybe just flip it backwards. Let's do a little something maybe like this. Okay, and push that out of the way. And now, look at that. We can get to the screw. So that's what we're gonna have to do in this case. We're still fighting for space, even with this new panel. All right, this thing's gonna fall on my head. All right. Take that. I was holding it up with my head. All right, so now we have access to the blower section. And I cut out 4 areas so we can get to all those screws. Now I have space here, so this is all cut. Let's get these screws off. All right. Yeah. Let's get that going. Let's remember this. No screws can go in these two. I don't know why they have that opening, because if you put a screw through there, it's gonna go through the pan. And what's crazy about that, the pan is just a piece of styrofoam. So you put a screw in there, you're basically done. Stuff over here, you see, we can lift this down. Oh man, you see? You really gotta, I left the back screws on just because they duct sealed it. I just need I need this to come down like here for me to pull these fans out, and I will tell you why. So when I move this wire, it's like on a little clip up here. Let's get that out the way. On the bottom, there's these 2 little clips. What I do is I push the tabs in, and I needed it like this, little space for me to kind of wiggle this out. Some easier than others. Let's see. Alright, See, they just pop out. Do the same on this one. Alright, see, some easier than others, but you kind of just pull them down, get them at the good angle. That might be because of this, might be my problem. Push that down a little more. Okay, that came out too. They're all horrible. Alright, that's all out. And look at this panel, how it's sitting. It's probably full of dust too because of that reason. None of these covers are on right, and they're all missing screws. Okay, these two wires need to be taken out because I'm going to pull this whole thing down. Let me get the thermostat screwdriver. I know we're on the board, it's right here. These two wires right here, you can see if I pull on them, right? That's that. There's a little tab. Just gonna push the tab. And pull the wire out. Over here is this tab. Hopefully you guys can see it. I just push it down over there so it releases the lock and you just pull it out. Now let's take these connectors with us. One there. One there. Actually came out with the grommet itself. It's okay, we can put it back. Let's pull that out. Make sure not to break these clips. Okay, so this is free. Over here I wrote right with the arrow facing up, so the motor should be like that. My hand slipped a little, it looks like an H, but this is left and then up. But look in between here. These things are clogged and they're not moving air. It's really, really bad. Horrible. Clogged. What I used to do is take off the 4 screws here to take off this top cover, but I actually leave them in place because they're so difficult to get into, especially in those tight corners. So what I actually do is I just take off the bracket for the motor. Just take off the little bottom cover, just pop it off. Disconnect the wires for the motors. Take off the motor bracket, 4 screws up here, and this whole thing comes down. All right, we got that. Hold with the one hand here while I take off the last screw, so this thing doesn't break in your face, smack you. Last screw, and this whole thing comes down. Whole thing comes down. Hold on, Chris. I'm gonna pull this out. This rests on these little black mounts here. Right there, you see how it's like curved? It just rests like that. So when you put it back, remember to fit that in. Just like that. Okay? So let's get the garbage bag, put this in. We're gonna clean this. I don't know, this room is a real mess and under construction. Maybe we'll clean it here, but it's probably better outside just to get some fresh air, because this is really dirty. We're both wearing masks right now. This is extremely dirty. So I think outside it will be better. All right. And now with this bottom open, we take out these panels. Now we can get to pretty much everything we need. So now if we gotta change a motor, we can get to it. Clean the condensate pan, we could do that. Above the condensate pan, of course, is the evaporator coil. That can be properly cleaned. There's sensors back there. There's condensate pump back there. There's a EEV over there. It's still holding. There's a bunch of stuff up there, thermistors and stuff like that, that you just can't get to if you don't have the proper access. And that's how we remove the blowers. And they also sound bad. The bearings are probably going bad, but they want to do the maintenance, do the cleaning, and make this as cost effective as possible. So sure, why not? Man, it's like a little rug in here. Even this wire is like in the way of this. Whatever. I bent that over there. Let's see if I have enough space onto the sheetrock. I want to push this pan down. Be careful. We just came out of heating season. Hopefully there's no condensation here, but there's a chance that there is. You might get splashed like this. All right. Perfect. We got it out. All right. Ooh, that thing is not good, man. All right, let's put that in the bag. Surprisingly, these coils don't get that bad, but wow, this one's pretty bad. I mean, it's not the worst, but definitely got some debris up in there. And you can see, yeah, gonna need a little bit of love. As far as all this, we're gonna clean it in place. Right, we got some towels, something, clean that, and the rest we clean downstairs. Tape can go. This thing is full of dust. All this stuff is garbage. It's a very thin little coil, and it's pretty easy to clean. It's honestly not that bad. The real problem is that we don't have airflow because those blades are so packed. Truly just disappointing. I mean, what's the point of the air conditioner if you got no air? Well, what is that? You ain't got, you're missing the air part of air conditioning. I mean, it's just incredible. So, and there's refrigerant in here. So what happens, you don't have airflow, you have, you know, it's not properly evaporating if in cooling mode, and you know, it's like you're slugging liquid back to these compressors as well. So that's playing a role in those failures. It can't fully evaporate. It's just real issues. And then in the winter time, this acts as the condenser, and it's with no airflow, it's like a clogged coil, head pressures, everything is up. Compressors are running extra hard and just being severely mistreated. We're gonna start brushing these out a bit because it's so bad. Our air compressor lost the attachment, so we're not gonna be able to get it, but so much stuff is coming out of there. Look at the sound on this unit, and look at this. This thing is gonna snap. Oh my god, man, this building, man. Anyways, we're gonna brush these out. Look at that. Unbelievable how much dust is inside these things. I took off the screws in the back. Also, there's some 5/16 screws here drilled into the duct. Looks like it's going, yeah, through our panel. Oops. 2 screws. The way to do this properly is gonna be by really getting this thing out. Oh boy. Right now I have the Subco Porta Blaster taking water from this bucket. So we're gonna pressure wash this coil. I use the brush down everything here. We're gonna wipe everything down after. And also, here's the coil, got that cover off. I brushed down the coil as well. Already looks a lot better. Let's give it a nice little pressure wash and we should be good with that coil. And build this little setup right here. Put the screws through it where it's kind of gonna catch water if needed. Having the pan there is a bit of a pain. But I just want to shoot it out from the back We'll catch some water while Christian supports it a bit. I'll be able to get it through there, and we should be all right. All right, so let's shoot it up. Water's pushing right through the other side of the coil. All right. That's good. It's catching pretty much most of the water. There's actually a floor drain here on the floor, which is good, and it's all tile. Should be okay. So we're gonna try to blow it out from each end. You can see it going right through, which is great. All right, guys, you see right there, water shooting right through. We're pretty much just gonna pass water through the coil, but I like to start through the back. Oh, this thing is gonna be good to go. All right, wife's stopping this down, but man, look at that, crispy, clean. This coil is nice and clean. Let's see if we can get a view of it through here. Looks nice and clean coil. I even rinsed down the pump. This, even the styrofoam, the back of this plate, everything nice and clean. It's looking new from here. Gotta finish with the fans, condensate pan, and reinstall everything and test it. Got dirty panels and everything all caked up over the years. I'm gonna be excited to see how clean these are gonna be, and really the whole building needs to be this way. Everything is nice and clean, all the panels, all the dust is off, clean filter, even down to the electrical control panel, even down to the condensate pan. You guys seen how it was before. This part right here really just doesn't wash off. It's like some sort of rust on there, and I don't know, but that is a beautiful thing right there. All these covers and everything in here with the new access. This is the way things need to be done. It's gonna be a huge project that I'm undertaking, but it is what it is. Let's do things right. As far as this, there's no screws or anything holding this up. It's just literally a piece of foam that can be stuck right here. And when it comes to supporting this, it's gonna be that bottom panel. Let me just get this one screw out. Okay. We're gonna have to get this in between this here, which might be a bit tricky, but pretty much just gonna put this cover back and fit this in place with this duct. Maybe not in between, just underneath it actually. Let's see. All right, those are the fans. They're ready to go. Let's fit this thing in here. This was a real pain to get in, I'm not gonna lie. Got the 2 screws finally in. I needed some space to really work, so now I'm just gonna kind of tuck this in. Perfect. And now we can put the screws where they go. Man, what a mess. Everything is difficult to get to, but got it. Let's start oh no, wait, we can't put that one back yet because we need to put in the covers for the fan, but I'm gonna get some of these back screws in so it holds in place. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Put all these little side screws and everything in. Christian did a beautiful job on these fans. Wow. So what he did was we brushed it down, and then we put a little bit of pressure with the water, and then we kind of pressure wash these little fins. Oh man, that is great. You're gonna have phenomenal airflow from here. So this one is the right side, right? Right goes up. I mean, you can't really go wrong on this one. with direction or anything because it's a single blower, but the other one you probably could. So next, got the bracket on there. Just gonna line this up. Okay. Just gonna line it up. Let's get a screw on there. Let's get this started. 3 more screws. And we're in business. I fit the grommet back in place so we can neatly run our wire through back into the control panel. Let's get that in there. Mount this one and start closing these things up. Here we have the left side. All right, that's mounted properly. Once again, let's line that up. You want that facing upwards. Only get 4 screws in here. Beautiful. All right, that's in there. I ran both wires through. I used this to hold that in place. It's like a little wire holder. So you want this a little bit down. That's what I realized is a secret here. You want this tilted a little bit. And then it's going to fit through right there. And you're just gonna close this up. Clicks into place. That's done. And we're gonna do the same for this side. That's beautiful. And there you have it. It looks beautiful. The wire strapped up on the side. Everything is nice and clean. And we're just gonna connect our 2 wires in our control panel. Here's our control panel. These are our 2 wires. And I plug them in 1, 2, right there. Everything is put back together. We just gotta put the filter back on, but we're definitely gonna have airflow now. And I put 4 screws, 4 new screws to hold this panel in place. I hate when I see things just hanging off and just dust getting everywhere. All right, we're spinning. Only had the filter off just to confirm that both fans are operating. Instead of checking like voltages and amps and all that stuff, we know we're good to go. Let's put that filter on. I got the system in cooling. As you can see, our temperatures are dropping. Yep. So we're operating in heating and cooling. Fans back on, coils clean, good airflow because the fans are clean. Condensate pan is clean. Oof, that's a beautiful thing right there. The bearings on those fans sound absolutely terrible. They're definitely on their way out. They're all original. And that's gonna be a whole other project, but we now have access to do everything. Once again, it's gonna be from here to here and right there. So they're gonna frame it out and put that panel up, and it's like sheetrock, so it like blends in with the ceiling, which is pretty nice, and we could take the whole thing down, and that's gonna be great. But we're gonna wrap it up from here. If anyone found this video interesting or helpful, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe for all these nightmare disasters. I'll catch you all next time.